How many hours did you spend in meetings last week? Go on, think about it. Monday morning stand-up, Wednesday review, back-to-back client calls on Friday, and at the end of it all, how much actually got done? If your answer is not enough, you're not alone. Research shows that executives spend up to 23 hours a week in meetings. That's more than half a working week, just talking. But here's the real problem. It's not the meetings themselves. It's what happens, or more accurately, what doesn't happen after them. Notes get lost, action items are forgotten. The next meeting begins with everyone wondering what was decided in the last one. One former Wipro, Ericsson, and Cisco engineer got so fed up with this cycle that he built a company to fix it. And in just 6 months, over 15,000 teams started using his product. Welcome to 10-Minute MBA. Today we're breaking down Acta.ai, the Made in India AI startup that's turning your meetings into actual work. Meet Sharma BKP. He spent years climbing the corporate ladder at 3 of the most respected names in tech: Wipro, Ericsson, and Cisco. On paper, it looked like success. In practice, it felt like a trap. Most of my corporate life was spent in back-to-back meetings. Capturing minutes manually was error-prone, repetitive, and exhausting. Statement by Mr. Sharma. Day after day, Sharma watched smart people waste precious time doing something a machine could do, writing down what was said, assigning tasks, following up. He kept thinking, surely there's a better way. So he left his comfortable corporate role and set out to build it. The name he chose? Acta, derived from Latin meaning official meeting records. But this wasn't going to be just a record keeper. It was going to be a thinking machine for your meetings. This is a founding story we see a lot on this channel. The insider who gets so frustrated with a broken system that they decide to become the one who fixes it. And that insider advantage? It's often what makes the difference. Before we get into the product, let's talk about the problem. Because understanding the problem is half the business lesson. Tools like Otter AI and Fireflies already existed. They would transcribe your meetings and give you a rough summary. Useful? Sure. But Sharma noticed something critical. They stop short of real impact. Most tools answer what was said. Acta AI answers what needs to be done. That's a brilliant positioning statement. Write it down. There's a difference between information and insight, between a transcript and an action plan, between knowing what happened and knowing what to do next. The existing tools were solving for memory. Acta is solving for execution. And there's another layer to this problem that most Western tech companies missed entirely: the Indian market. India has its own communication rhythms, accents, industry vocabulary, and workflow cultures. A tool built in Silicon Valley for American teams often struggles to understand a product sprint call in Bangalore or a client review in Mumbai. Acta was designed from day one to understand how Indian teams actually talk and work. That localization? That's a competitive moat most global players simply can't replicate overnight. So how does Acta AI actually work? At its core, Acta uses what it calls persona-based AI agents. Think of them as specialized employees, each one an expert in a particular business function. There's a sales agent that listens to sales calls and extracts opportunities and follow-ups structured around MEDPIC and SPIN, 2 of the most respected sales methodologies in the world. Your sales team walks out of a call with a structured deal brief, not scattered notes. There's an HR agent that aggregates candidate evaluations from multiple interviewers and generates data-driven hiring recommendations. No more, "I think they were good." You get structured, consistent data. And there's a ticketing agent that automatically creates JIRA issues from your technical discussions, complete with task title, priority, dependencies, and deadlines, pre-populated, ready to assign. The system integrates directly into the tools teams already use: JIRA, Salesforce, HubSpot, Notion, Slack, Google Drive. You don't need to change how your team works. Acta slots in and supercharges what's already there. The experience is deliberately simple. You sign in with your Google or Microsoft account, link your calendar, and Acta's agent joins your meetings automatically. Afterwards, you receive a summary, a list of decisions, and actionable tasks pushed directly into your workflow. Acta doesn't just record, it collaborates. That's not just a tagline, that's the entire product philosophy in 4 words. Now let's talk traction, because in the startup world, traction is truth. 15,000 active users in 6 months since launching their SaaS version. And importantly, Sharma says adoption has been largely organic, driven by integrations and word of mouth within India's startup and IT ecosystems. No massive marketing spend, no aggressive paid acquisition, just people trying it, liking it, and telling their colleagues. Early traction is also coming from regulated sectors, BFSI and healthcare, which brings us to another smart strategic move: privacy as a foundation. Acta is compliant with SOC 2 Type 2, GDPR, HIPAA, and ISO 27001. It uses AES 256 encryption and offers on-premise deployment for clients with strict data residency needs. Privacy isn't a feature, it's a foundation. Building compliance in from day one, rather than retrofitting it later, opened doors to the most lucrative and defensible segments of the market. That's MBA thinking at its finest. The startup is backed by angel investors and is now preparing for a growth funding round to expand into the US, Europe, and Asia Pacific. Let's break down how Acta makes money. The pricing follows a classic 3-tier SaaS model. Tier 1 is a 15-day free tier, unlimited recordings, transcriptions, and meeting duration. No credit card, no restrictions. Just use the product and get hooked. This is the freemium funnel at its best. Give them the full experience, then convert. Tier 2 is the Pro plan at $888 per seat per month, roughly 10,656 rupees annually. This unlocks email notifications, downloadable reports, a built-in chat interface, and access to those domain-specific AI agents, the sales agent, HR agent, ticketing agent, and more. Tier 3 is Enterprise, custom pricing, on-premise deployment, API access, white label options, and deeper integrations. The smart move here is that the free tier has 0 restrictions on core usage. You can record unlimited meetings. That's intentional. Once your team is dependent on Acta to run their meetings, upgrading to Pro for the AI insights is a no-brainer. That's habit formation as a sales strategy, and it works. So what's the 10-minute MBA lesson from Acta AI? 1. Solve the second problem. Otter and Firefly solved the first problem, capturing what was said. Acta went one step deeper and solved the second problem. What happens next? In competitive markets, the biggest opportunity is often just one level deeper than where everyone else stopped. 2. Localization is a moat. Global tools built for one market often fail in others. Acta built specifically for India. Accents, communication styles, and all. That's not a limitation. That's a defensible home market advantage from which to go global. 3. Compliance opens doors, not closes them. Most startups treat regulation as a burden. SOC 2, GDPR, HIPAA. These certifications became the key that unlocked healthcare and BFSI clients, the most valuable and sticky segments in enterprise software. 4. Position around outcomes, not features. We transcribe your meetings is a feature. We turn meetings into action is an outcome. Outcomes command premium pricing and create emotional buy-in. Always position around outcomes. Acta AI is early, but the trajectory is clear. The meeting intelligence category is being built right now, and a made-in-India startup is at the front of the pack, not by copying what's been done, but by going one step further. From the next meeting you sit in, ask yourself, what's the second problem here? The one nobody's solving yet? That's where your next opportunity lives. That's your MBA for today. If you found this useful, share it with someone who spends half their week in meetings. They'll thank you. Hit subscribe, because next week we're breaking down another startup that's quietly reshaping how Indian businesses operate.